We're going to start off. We got the NFL awards coming up. MVP, who y'all got at MVP? I'll start off. I got to go with Lamar.
Same here. The numbers bear it out. I think that the numbers, if you look at them side by side with Josh Allen, it'd be very hard. You'd be hard pressed to be like, okay, well, Josh Allen deserves MVP off of what, aesthetics? Like the numbers are unbelievable for Lamar Jackson. He's done it again. He's won MVP. But we'll keep it to that. He won't be judged off of winning an MVP. He'll be judged off what he does this weekend and moving forward from this weekend. That's what we care about. But he's a Hall of Fame player already, for just off regular season merit. He's the MVP in my opinion. If you're saying otherwise, we gotta have another conversation about something more serious. And you know what that conversation is. I don't gotta bring it up.
Offensive Player of the Year. I went with Jamar. I get it if somebody choose Saquon, but I went with Jamar Chase.
Triple crown.
Yeah.
Triple crown. You know, I look, and the nice thing about Jamar is you got to think about it too. He doesn't get to run behind 3 Pro Bowlers. So he has to do it all on his own on an island, mixing dudes up, getting the football, making guys miss in the open field. You know, 17 touchdowns? Is that what it was, the final number? Was it that many? 17 touchdowns? Unreal. It is crazy to make the playoffs. The defense is atrocious. It's too bad our guy ain't here to talk about that, but it's all right. But yeah, man, this guy's been incredible. I think the award easily has to go to him. Offensive Player of the Year is easily him. I don't really think there's much of a conversation, to be quite honest, when you look at the numbers and raw data. Best receiver in the league.
Saquon for you, Miles?
Just to be different, though. Just to be different, because you know the answer is Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase don't got to run behind. Jamar Chase don't get to run behind Landon Dickerson and Mailata and Lane Johnson. He's not running behind offensive linemen. He don't get to do that. The reason why Saquon had the success he had is because he's a great player, yes, but he's running behind the best line in football. So you put a great player running behind the best line of football, and you get this the result you get. I'm not giving it to the running back who got to change situations and run behind a great offensive line. He's great, but Jamar, his success is more dependent on the quarterback, of course. He gets to have a great quarterback throwing the ball, but it's still more of an independent factor than running behind a great offensive line. But that's up to you.
I think they should let him get the record.
You don't have to answer the question. I mean, you answered it for me.
What did Tone say that before? What did you say?
I was saying I think they should have let him get the record when they decided to not let him play. I get it for Saquon. Maybe you're okay with this if they win a Super Bowl. If they don't win the Super Bowl, which we will talk about, if they don't win the Super Bowl, that's a once in a lifetime opportunity that just got thrown down the drain. You're not doing that again.
Nope.
True.
All for a possible second round you out, maybe first round you out.
I've seen Jalen Hurts play quarterback this year. They ain't winning the Super Bowl. So it was a waste. I watched Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts throwing bounce passes this year.
Defensive Player of the Year. I went with Surtain.
I did too, and I know that's not fun, but it's not. This race wasn't the greatest for this year. I feel right? Like it's not just me. Okay, this race wasn't the greatest. Surtain is awesome. So if he gets the recognition he deserves as a shutdown corner and one of the few that are in the NFL, it's him. And then you've got the Gonzalez over in New England, and that's like the up and coming guys. And then also you got the guy for the Eagles, right? They drafted Mitchell. I think you've got to go with Surtain. And Hendrickson had a great year with all those sacks, but their defense sucked. So you know what I mean? And McKinney had a great year too, but I would still lean Surtain because Surtain's job is harder than playing free safety or playing strong safety. It's harder going up against the best receiver in the league and shutting them down with no help.
Yeah, I'd probably say the same thing. Surtain, especially on that defense, without really a true number 2. He's going against the best guy every week and kind of locking them down. And sure, Quignon could be in the conversation. Usually rookies aren't unless they put up otherworldly stats. But that's the best corner in football right now.
I think it's safe to say Offensive Rookie of the Year, we all got Jayton.
Yes.
I hate this award.
Let's go for the quarterback.
It's the dumbest award. Like, you might as well make a separate one for other offensive rookies because,
Yeah.
I mean, who else is going to have the ball in their hand as much? So, like, if Caleb would have played better, you'd obviously put him over Neighbors or someone like Neighbors and Brock Bowers. They were setting records. Like,
Yes.
that could be
Yeah.
guys that we're talking about more than like Jaden
Mhm.
Daniels and Bo Nix. Like, sure, like they put up great numbers this year, quarterback wise, but you're expected to do that. Like Neighbors on that offense, catching passes from who knows who. At this point, I don't even know if he knows the names of the quarterbacks in that QB room. And then Brock Bowers, same thing. For them to be setting records like that, I feel like that is more impactful than like, sure, Jaden Daniels is great. I'm not taking that away from him. Same with Bo Nix, but when you're setting records as rookies,
Bo Nix ain't great.
doing things that nobody has done before, then I feel like it should be between Neighbors and Brock Bowers, honestly.
Yes, I totally agree. And I'll probably take Bowers because he's like the best tight end in football already. That's the only reason why I'd say that. Right?
Hey, it's the same thing with the MVP award. You really just need to have a separate award because, like to your point, the QB is similar to like a point guard. You have the ball in your hands 98% of the time on the offense, making all the decisions, audibles. If you're that good enough to call your own audibles, like you have control over everything in the offense. Defensive Rookie of the Year. We mentioned him early. I'm going with Quinyon Mitchell.
Yeah, that was a big pick for them, I think, because they tasked him kind of like after the first couple weeks to be that number one shutdown guy for them. And coming out of that small school that he came out of, sure, he was really good in college, but you didn't know what to expect. He really set the tone for that defense, and that's why later on, and as the year came on, like he set the tone for that defense, and that defense is one of the better defenses in the NFL. I know they talked about the two guys from the Rams as possible candidates for this too. What's it, Verse and the other guy, the white guy, D end or D tackle. But like corner is probably the hardest position, especially the way they call it. I mean, every little hand motion gets called in this NFL. So for him to come in and lock down receivers like this, like I give it to him.
I would say the same. Yeah, you give it to him. All right. I would say the same. I would say the same. I mean, look, like defensive. I feel like this rookie class defensively just hasn't been great. As I kind of just look down the list of names of players, not too many guys that have had great, years defensively. But the guy from the Rams, I think it's Fisk. I think that's his name is. He's been pretty good over there too. So you could show him some love. But I mean, no one's had close to the year that Quinyon Mitchell has had as a rookie. So I think that it's really just it writes itself. And look, as far as the Eagles go with drafting that guy, and they seem to always get it right. Howard always gets it right. He finds this Quinyon Mitchell at the back end of the first round, and the guy is a star already playing over there, right? And that's who you replaced Bradbury with, if I'm not mistaken. Bradbury, right? Like you replaced Bradbury with that guy. Unreal. And DeJean was pretty good too this year. It's not like he was any scrub. He was good too. So whatever, man. I don't even want to keep on talking about it. He's rookie of the year. Defensively.
Comeback player of the year. I have J.K. Dobbins, but I just want to throw in there. I think DeMar Hamlin should be up for it just because he actually started this year. And it's not a situation where it's like, oh, yeah, he came off a 6 to 9 month injury. He died. He should be able to be in the window for at least 2 seasons. He actually started this year. So this is not no regular injury. He came off an Achilles. He died. And now it's starting this year.
I don't think it's the way you said it. I don't think he's gonna win the award.
Oh no, he isn't. I just think he should be in conversation because it's different from a player that last year they didn't play, or they had a down season,
yeah, right,
or they came off an Achilles tear or something like that. The man came He died. The following year, he didn't play as much, and he was coming off the bench. But this year, he's a starter after dying 2 years ago. Like, that's not a regular injury. The man died. It should be a little bit of a longer window for comeback player of the year for him. You died. Like, at least a 2-year window.
What's the statute of limitations on that?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you dead. How you and you starting now? Like,
Tone saying he showed a lot of heart this year, but I gotta go. I gotta go with a look. Comeback player of the year. I'm gonna go with Darnold. I know we do it for guys that have injuries typically, but look, it's a quarterback league, and the guy Darnold's career came back from the dead, right? From seeing goals to this, so full 180, a full 180. I think you got to show him some love, and I think he will get some love for this award, but nothing would surprise me. I'll go with Darnold. Though. He's been unbelievable this year.
It's weird though, because it's like, where did he come back from? He's just
from his own incompetence. That's what he came back from.
Then we should make a separate resiliency award or something.
So is this award, has this weird award only ever gone to guys who come back from injuries, season-ending injuries? Because I feel like we look at it, that's not the case.
But like, that's the thing. For me, I know he's going to be up for the award, but like, I feel like Joe Burrow has more merit to getting it than Sam. Just because Joe
Burrow?
Yeah, Joe Burrow, he busted his wrist last year and came back and led a great offense. We're not going to talk about the defense, but he was doing his thing out there. And Sam, for sure, he had a great season. Not taking that away from him, but he didn't come back from nothing. He didn't. It's not like he was out of the league. This is not Kurt Warner or something like that. This is like he was just a backup for a couple years, and then finally came through on his talent. So
he had to get a shift over at ShotRite.
Yeah, he's most improved. If they had a most improved award, then Sam would get it. But comeback player of the year, I don't know.
Call me crazy, but him winning comeback player of the year, Joe Burrow winning that award, just feels like he's too good for the award. Like this is beneath him. He's an MVP guy. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about Joe Burrow. But understand by the letter of the law, right? Because Miles is a lawyer. So by the letter of the law, Joe Burrow is a comeback player of the year because he came back from a wrist injury.
Gronk has won comeback player of the year before because he was out 1 year, came back, 16 touchdowns. So you're telling me somebody of that caliber?
No, I agree.
He shouldn't be in the award running?
There's precedent already. You see, you're a lawyer. There's precedent already. That's fine. That's fine. Joe Burrow, you're right.
He said, Your Honor, the case in 1972 of Sinsmere versus Davenport. Hey, who's the coach of the year for y'all? I mean, I'm going to go with Kevin O'Connell. Obviously, it's the same thing, kind of what you alluded to early, Greg, in regards to Lamar. It only matters what they do in the playoffs. But for the regular season, Kevin O'Connell, what he did with the Vikings, Darnold, it was not expected. I know most are going to give it probably to Dan Campbell, but they just came off of that year that they had previously. Nobody saw the Vikings being... They just can't beat the Lions. They beat everybody else. They just can't beat the Lions.
I was going to give it to a different Dan, the one over in D.C. Because I feel like the job that he did coming in year one with a rookie quarterback leading them to 12 wins, where they haven't won anything in there. Like winning is not something we talk about associated with the Commanders right now. So for him to come in and change the culture, basically, year one, and make that a team that players are asking to go to now. I mean, that right off the bat, I feel like he should get it because KOC, he's already proven it. Like, he's a great coach. Dan Quinn, I feel like, has proven that he's a great coach too. Because Atlanta, I mean, besides the debacle 28-3, I mean, this is a guy that is a pretty darn good coach. So, and then Dan Campbell, I mean, has he won it yet, or he's?
I don't think so.
No. So he could be the front runner for this, just because 15-2, best record in NFL. But if I had a choice, I'd take Dan Quinn coming in year one with Jaden Daniels and making things happen.
Yeah, because last year Kevin Stefanski won it, and then the year before that, obviously Brian Dable and then Mike Vrabel. So he ain't win it.
And because of the precedent that Brian Dable set, you could go with Campbell, sure, but I'm gonna go with Sean McDermott for the Bills because they had no receivers to speak of besides Shakir and all that, and they were finding ways to win football games, just running the football and kind of piecing together wins early in the year. Then they get Amari Cooper. They're doing this thing by committee of receiver. Keon Coleman runs like a 6'7", 40, and they got him out there running routes and they're still winning football games. And so I just think when you look at that team and what they've done defensively, offensively, surviving the injuries they've had, Matt Milano going down early in the year, you got to give him some love. He's done a good job coaching and hiring Joe Brady. You get credit for that. Like, you got the right guy to coach, to be the offensive coordinator, and the guy who can speak to your quarterback and get him to play his best football. You deserve credit for that. So I go with him as his coach of the year, and I wouldn't be surprised if he won it.